Hey, what's up, Street Talks? Eric Kim from the Eric Kim Street Photography Blog. Alright, so this is okay, so something I want to talk with you about is interesting. The basic notion is this. The basic notion is hilarious. Like when I'm vlogging in public, everyone honking at me is like, yo, I'm in a vlog. Okay, anyways. So it seems that like modern society is extremely antisocial, especially in Silicon Valley. Everyone got the AirPods on, whatever. So I'm gonna, just talk with y'all, just like sharing why I think that is, and maybe what can and what should we do about it. So this is the basic notion. I think it's actually not a technological issue, kind of a tech issue, right? It's actually a social issue. So, I can't speak for you, but let me speak about just like America. So, actually in America, you're not allowed to make eye contact with strangers, right? That's the first thing. So, example, the next time you take the metro in New York City, or you take the tube in London, it's amazing. So many people is just kind of crammed together and nobody's making eye contact, because to make eye contact is to, maybe it's threatening to the other person, but essentially the philosophy is like, thou shalt not intrude on other people's privacy. So America's kind of weird, is that we have too much this notion of like privacy and not enough notions of like communalism. So probably one of the best things I love about living in Vietnam was everyone talks to each other, and the notion of someone eating by themselves is like blasphemous. So I even read something in like some philosophy books, like what is the definition of what separates humans and animals? Humans eat with other people, and then animals eat alone. So as a human, if you're eating by yourself, you're not a human, you're an animal, is essentially what one of the philosophers said. Ooh, nice trees. Right, so the big issue is, because we're our society is built in such a way where we're individualistic and private, we're not encouraged to talk to strangers. It's actually considered bad manners to talk to strangers, and you're always saying like, oh, sorry to bother you, but you ain't bothering nobody. You're like kind of making their life a little bit more interesting. And I've actually found too is that like being a street photographer is probably the most interesting like sociological life experiment that you could do, because sociology is all about understanding society. Why is it the way it is, and can or should we do something about it? So I can just tell you what I've done, which has been useful. Okay, now whenever I walk around in public, part of this is just like fear of dying, and part of this is just like a more of an aesthetic thing. I don't walk around with headphones no more. And you believe, like, I think it's genuinely a better life, because life without headphones, you could overhear conversations, which is generally actually more fun than watching a TV show. You could think more, and actually this is what I noticed. When you don't have headphones on, even at the gym, you're more likely to actually talk to strangers, and strangers are actually more likely to talk to you. And so I've made a lot of new friends just purely just like not having headphones on and just chatting with them. And so I think the weird thing with headphones is that kind of like, they're essentially earplugs. You're kind of plugging yourself off from the rest of the world. Now, the question is this a bad thing? I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, but it's just kind of more about like, what is your life goals all about? So personally, my life goals is to have as much fun, to interact with people, and augment my wisdom to the personal maximum. And it seems in order to do that, talking to strangers is actually probably one of the most useful things. So first thing, don't walk around with headphones or earplugs on when you're in public. Even nowadays, when I listen to music with headphones, I just do it in my own apartment when I'm private, if I really want to enjoy the music. So the second thing is, don't keep your smartphone in your front pocket. Keep it in your backpack or your bag, and only take it out when you need to make phone calls. Otherwise, use the opportunity to make photos or just like look around. And the second thing too is, I mean, it's very, very, very simple, right? When you're walking around in public, or at the gym or the coffee shop, every human you meet, you can say this in a fake Boston accent. You'd be like, how you doing? or like a fake New York accent, right? Like, how you doing? And then they say, oh, I'm fine, and you? And then don't say I'm fine. Throw them off a little bit by giving them some sort of like kind of random answer. Be like, oh, I'm feeling shitty because I haven't slept last night. And then that could be a new road to talk about something much more interesting and much more genuine. And or you could be like, I'm doing fantastic because I've had 2 cups of coffee already, whatever it may be. So essentially your goal is to disrupt social norms. Cindy calls this disrupt normalcy, where you're kind of shifting the social needle off course. So like, you know, there's a fork in the road, just driving straight, don't go this way, don't go that way, go straight forward seems to be the optimal strategy. But anyways, so I know, just like in my personal life, talking to strangers has just made me like a happier person. So maybe that's the secret, just talking to more strangers. The biggest benefit is they'll make you happier, it'll make you more human, it'll make you more motivated and inspired, and it'll improve your life.